Welcome to TIFF, and congratulations on this fantastic film. And Nora, I wanted to start with you because it's based on such a wonderful, wonderful book. And what was it when you first read the book, you thought, you know what, I want to make this is going to make a great animated feature?
I didn't put it down. I started on page 1 and I read the whole thing through. And I just was struck by the matter-of-fact way that Deborah Ellis told the story of Parvana. You understood her. She was flawed, She had her strengths, you could understand her thought process. But she felt, in a sense, she's very culturally, specifically Afghan, but in another sense, she felt like me, and certainly me as a young girl, So that was really, really powerful, and I knew that I could follow that character through a film, and that character would lead me to direct, this film and direct my whole team toward that one wonderful story, I think, of Parvana.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for you, I wanted to know, well, first of all, had you read the book? Were you familiar with it before you had taken on the role?
Well, actually, about 3 years before I even knew about the movie, I had read the book, and actually the whole trilogy and the follow-up book, My Name is Parvana. And I fell in love with the character. I fell in love with her books. Deborah Ellis, since I was probably around 9 years old, has been my favorite author. And I actually got the chance to meet her about a year before the auditions for this movie. And I actually, when I met her, I said, "Hey, are you going to make a movie for this book? Because I would totally watch it." And she was
I'd totally be in it.
Exactly, right? And she was like, "Oh yeah, it's still in the works. We're talking about it. We'll see."
Yeah.
And then about a year later, I get a call from my agent being like, "Hey, there's an audition for the Breadwinner." I was like, the Breadwinner? So I think it was meant to be, and I was very familiar with the book, and that definitely helped me in creating the character and bringing her to life.
I wanted to ask you that because how did you, thank God that your life is not like hers, but how do you envision yourself in her place, and how did you get there to do such a wonderful voice performance?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, definitely having read the books before, definitely helped me to understand where she was coming from, all her emotions, all her relationships with her best friend Shazia, her mother, her father, her sister, all her relationships and her feelings. The book definitely brought that to life for me, and having that behind me and also having Nora's direction all the time, was definitely a great help. And Nora was fantastic. I remember one time when we were recording, she actually brought me to tears, like in a good way though, to help me with not in a bad way.
Good.
She didn't make me cry.
She didn't, whip you or anything. Okay, good.
No. But yeah, she said, think of something sad, think of something that makes you upset, and I think that was very important. Always having something that you can relate to. Those genuine emotions really helped me to bring the character to life and really make her authentic and real.
Yeah. Nora, for you, what I love so much about this, well, there's a lot of things I love about this, but the two different sets of animation that you chose to use when you're telling the story, but then when we're hearing the stories that are being told, why make that decision to separate it?
From the outset, I wanted to make the film as beautiful as I possibly could. I wanted to treat the subject matter in bring all the talents of my crew to bring as much beauty onto the screen, so that the audience would never pull away. And I guess with a subject matter like this, there's a danger that you might pull away emotionally. So, and certainly I wanted to give a sense of the power of Parvana's imagination and her abilities as a storyteller and the culture that she comes from. I wanted to give a sense of the power of that and to balance the film. So we have a very kind of a realistic view of what Kabul would have been like at the time, but we also have this limitless imagination that she has. So again, to just express that with all the way that our art directors and our animators, just let them run free basically with the story world in the film.
Having Angelina Jolie on board is wonderful, and it's no surprise that she would be interested in something like this. It's so beautiful. Was she hands-on? Did you spend a lot of time with her, and how influential was she in making this?
Hands-on in a very wise way, and in a way that understands a fellow director, I guess, as well. So she very much guided all the way through from our first drafts of the script all the way through to her animatics, and watched every stage all along. But her guidance, she knew the budget we had. She knew restrictions, so she very much tailored her guidance, towards what was realistic for us, as filmmakers.
Very good. Well, best of luck to both of you, for all of you involved in this beautiful film. I can't wait for people to see it, and fingers crossed, I think we might have an Oscar nomination coming, so we'll see. I hope I haven't jinxed you, but I think it's going to happen. Congratulations to you both. Thank you.